So guys, we just got some crazy details from showrunner Eric Wallace going over some cancelled storylines for The Flash Season 9, as well as The Flash Season 10, if Season 9 wasn't the final season, and holy moly, there's some crazy stuff to go over here. I cannot wait to talk about all of this, so let's just get straight into this and break it all down. Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash in general. I don't want to say The Flash Season 9 because there's some aspects in this interview which does talk about The Flash Season 10, and obviously this was if The Flash Season 10 was to happen. So this was what Eric Wallace planned before it was announced that Season 9 was the final season, and all the cancelled storylines and various other things like that he couldn't bring into The Flash Season 9 if they hadn't announced that the 9th season was going to be the final season. And there's some crazy new details that Eric Wallace goes over here, such as a potential Legends of Tomorrow crossover, as well as a massive big Justice League crossover, a huge Green Lantern storyline tease from John Diggle, as well as a brand new Speedster being introduced to the Flash family for the 10th season, once again, if it was to happen. And yeah, it's just very, very intriguing, and let's just go straight into this interview because it's very, very exciting. Now, obviously, bear in mind, this is a whole interview, so I'll be going over everything, so he doesn't reveal the Season 10 bits until later. I will put a timestamp down below if you guys want to see the different questions and answers, but I would recommend listening to the whole thing because he does reveal some pretty interesting, cancelled storyline tidbits, even for The Flash Season 9 as well. But just in case, all the timestamps will be in the description down below. But yeah, these are some very, very interesting stuff. Now, I do also want to announce that obviously from the time I'm recording this video, The Flash is literally a day away, and I will be doing a watch party for Season 9 Episode 1 live on my channel. I'll be reacting to the episode live. So for whoever wants to join into that live stream, be sure to join the chat. I'll obviously speak to you guys, and obviously you guys will see my reaction to the episode as well. Okay, so this interview is from the Nerds of Color, and obviously they've interviewed showrunner Eric Wallace, so let's just get straight into this. As The Flash approaches its 9th and final season, we are happy to have Eric Wallace, showrunner, on to discuss what Flash fans can expect in the final season. Okay, so first thing to go over, how did you approach the writing of The Flash's final season, and what does the overall experience of concluding it feel like? Well, the fascinating thing was in approaching the stories for the final season. And listen up to this, guys. I had originally had a 2-year plan for the series for seasons 9 and 10. And it culminated with this incredible 200th episode, a spectacular, wonderful, emotional event that was meant to happen. That was before we got the news that it was going to be our last season. That was going to be a Season 9 that I found myself in position going, wow, I have a whole bunch of story for 40 episodes that now I'm going to have to cram into 13. So it wasn't a case of what to do. It was what not to do. So there was a mad dash of pruning, and basically the 200th episode that I had planned that has become the series finale. So that's kind of the approach, and then I just worked backwards from there, saying, alright, what are the absolute most important things to get out in Season 9? What things do we owe story-wise? What character things do we have to pay off? What hanging plot was left over from Season 1 because Season 9 is a book? And I'm looking at Season 1 and 9 as the book ends to this journey that The Flash and his team have been on for all these years. So I'm telling both now and get ready for a little nostalgia, but also a little bit of paying off things that have been into that as early as Season 1. So obviously, in terms of all of this, it's very, very intriguing that Eric Wallace did originally have a 2-season plan, a Season 9 and a Season 10. So it leads me to believe this time it wasn't only Grant Gustin's decision to end it in Season 9, because he did kind of seem optimistic of wanting to do more as well. And obviously Eric Wallace did have a 2-season plan as well. It could have been up to Grant to end the show as well, because obviously he's the main lead. But I think they could have easily done season 10. I think this time it was up to, like, the higher ups in the CW and Warner Brothers, because if you really see what's been going on with DCTV, a lot of shows have been getting cancelled. So it was only a matter of time for, the Flash to be on the same boat. So I think they're like, you know what, we'll make season 9 our final season, and then that's that. I think that's what happened, because from here, what I'm able to see is that it seems like they were gonna go for 10 seasons, which would have been crazy. Having 200 episodes as well, that would have been in freaking sane. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, and it seems like season 9 is going to be, this wow payoff that we're now gonna get. And it is getting emotional. It is sad that season 9 is our final season, but yeah, I am really, really looking forward to see what we're having as well. Now, Eric Wallace did also mention that him and the writers have been rewatching season 1, and they've been going back and trying to tie up loose ends for the Flash season 9. So I'm glad that they're doing that as well, and I'm ready for the nostalgia. And then the next question is, and speaking of that payoff, as they barrel towards the end of their journey on the show, how will Barry and Iris be navigating the main conflict of the season while aiming to finally start their family? And Eric Wallace responds, well, the answer to that, surprisingly, is very simple, and it's a one-word answer to in the past. They've tackled problems separately, right? She's in the mirrors, he has to try and get her out, while fighting Mirror Master or Bloodwork or whomever he's trying to level up, while he's trying to deal with the expansion at CCC Media and your staff and all of those things. The difference this year is they will be facing them together. From day one, as we see in our season premiere, it's very, very Barry and Iris centered. That's a model that we'll be following for the majority of this year. So as they go on their baby moon adventures, and as they get closer and closer to, creating the actual family we know is coming, we just juggle it much more simply because they'll always be with each other navigating those worlds. I think there's only 1 or 2 moments in the season where they're not together. That was very conscious of in the writing. I'm so excited to see it, especially after the season premiere where we start seeing the building of Iris's media empire. So in regards to this, early reviews of episode 1 have come out, and they did say that it was going to be a very, very Barry and Iris episode, centered episode. And, we would have so many West Allen scenes, which I'm not going to complain about. It's good. It's great that we're having more time with these two together. But the fact that they're, together for, the majority of the season, which it seems like it's going to be, that's a bit worrying. And I don't really know how to feel about that, but I'm gonna say open-minded. I want to see a couple of more episodes, and I actually want to see what we're getting out of Barry and Iris before I properly judge. But for now, it's a bit worrying that they're putting more focus on that than anything else. But I'll remain open-minded. We'll see what Eric Wallace pulls up with in regards to these two. What can you tease anything more about that? And maybe if she'll finally win her Pulitzer. Oh yeah, you might not see the actual ceremony on camera, but you will get a confirmation. I mean, that's just a part of it. That's what we've been building for. That was funny. So we've already had a few announcements of other Arrowverse actors and characters like Javisa Leslie, Nicole Maines, Kanan Lonsdale, coming back as Wally aka Kid Flash back to the show. Were there any discussions to use this season and tie up loose ends for other Arrowverse shows? Now this one's also important. There was originally, when I had hoped that we'd have 20 episodes, my original concept was to have at least one, if not a 2-parter that wrapped up Legends of Tomorrow. And there will be a little crossover we get with them. We get them out of time jail, all these good things, booster gold, etc, etc. When we found out that we'd only have 13, that was no longer possible. We barely have enough time to wrap up things with Barry and Iris's upcoming family, let alone who is Danielle Panabaker playing now. So there wasn't enough time. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to wrap up the Legends storyline, which I know is very disappointing to the fans. It's disappointing to me, but we just don't have the bandwidth, which it's fair enough. It's 13 episodes, there's only certain amounts you can do, and you need to put priority wrapping up the main things that is crucial for the Flash story before you do anything else. It would have been really cool to see this crossover between the Flash and Legends, but unfortunately, of course, it got cancelled, and yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. We know that Wally is returning. Can you tease anything about what's happening with the West family and their developments in general this season? When there's so many spoilers, this is a season all about family, not just the West family, because they're all dealing with endings and new beginnings. That's a big theme that kind of goes through the season. Joe is coming to an end, and by that, I don't mean Joe's died. Nobody dies. Joe and Cecile are not getting divorced. They didn't even marry, so that's weird. None of that. But Joe has some really heavy stuff to do with because living in Central City has become too dangerous. Same thing with Barry and Iris. They're looking at a new beginning because, as Barry's map book says, Iris is getting pregnant. We know the baby does come. It is now, so they're dealing with the new beginning at the same time. Also with Wally, when he comes back, he's in one huge emotional crossroads dealing with the darkness of his past that was touched upon in season 2 of the show. Those demons are resurfacing now, and that he has to deal with those in order to get closure and the new beginning too. So almost all of the members of West Allen family have something they need to overcome this year over the course of season 9, and they will get to the happy ending that we all know it kind of coming. Now this part, oh my god, this part, it just brings me chills even talking about this. What are some arcs that you wish you could have done for this show but weren't able to do? You sort of touched upon that, but I would love to hear more of that. Gosh, there's so many. I'm so bummed. We were gonna do all kinds of things. I can tell you that we were going to tackle the Forever War storyline, which is something I came up with for season 10. That was going to be a season opener, and we've been hinting at it. I wanted to do a full-on crossover with as many characters as possible. The Blackest Night storyline that we started hinting at last year with Diggle and the box. So yeah, it kind of bums me out that we're not going to do that. I wanted to bring Despero with his alien friends and have a full-on alien invasion. That would have featured the Justice League at the Hall of Justice coming in and helping Barry. We're not going to do that either. So these things happen. Having said that, on my bucket list of things I did want to accomplish, you'd be surprised, over half of them are in. So there are spoilers I can't really talk about. We've just took episode 200 and turned it into the series finale, so I'm very happy that we're actually getting to do that, and it's going to be an incredibly emotional story specifically for Barry and the fallout from it, and how he and Iris kind of handle it. This is pain. This is pain, man. Imagine if we got season 10 and we got the Blackest Night storyline. That would have been so sick. So obviously, it has to do with Diggle rejecting the ring. That's going to play into it. Now, in the comics, the Blackest Night storyline is essentially like a prophecy that's haunting the Green Lantern Corps, and eventually came to pass with Necron unleashing the Black Lanterns on the universe, where essentially, some dead superheroes rise up as a Black Lanterns and all those sorts of stuff. It would have been really cool, and having this big threat, bringing in the Justice League as well. That would have been so freaking sick. Bringing Diggle as Green Lantern, everything like that. It would have been really cool, but unfortunately we're not getting that. Now, unfortunately, with Forever War, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'm assuming it's just a storyline Eric Wallace came up with where he wants to bring characters back as like a crossover. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not too familiar with comics and everything like that, so I'm not sure what the Forever War storyline is. If you guys have any idea, be sure to let me know. Despero coming back is also very interesting. That would have been really cool, especially featuring the Justice League and all of them helping Barry out, because obviously we haven't had the full-on crossover since season 6, so it would have been cool seeing all of that. But I'm glad that at least some things Eric Wallace planned, and he says over half of them are in, so we are getting those aspects that he wished for season 9. So I'm assuming he's talking about like Oliver Queen's return, Kid Flash, all those sorts of stuff. But also he was able to turn the ideal episode 200 into the series finale, so hopefully that was able to stick as well. And yeah, I'm just very looking forward to it. Now, I cannot remember where this was from, I'm pretty sure it was from the Flash podcast, if I'm not mistaken. But Eric Wallace did also talk about that a new speedster, that being Max Mercury, who was teased in the Still Force episode. He was going to play a part in the Flash season 10 as well, if that was going to happen. So we would have had a new speedster playing a part as well, which would have been really, really sick. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen as well. And I believe this is the last question, but I just wanted to say as well, after your and your team's incredible work over the last several years, and though for the past 9 years, The Flash in general, how are you feeling looking back at your journey as showrunner of The Flash? And Eric Wallace responds, "Oh, that's a good question. I think it's too early for me to have an accurate estimate. My time isn't my tenure as a showrunner because, I'm still in it. I'm still trying to finish filming episode 11 right now. I'm literally writing the series finale as we speak. So I don't think I can give an accurate picture overall, but I will say it's been, I think, one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I think that's something I can say now. There's been a lot of laughter, a lot of tears, a lot of excitement, a lot of surprises. I didn't know that there was going to be a global pandemic in my tenure that I could have really done without, and navigate those incredibly difficult waters surrounded by the best team of storytellers and actors and crew and writers and executives who were supporting me the whole way through all of this. That's an unforgettable experience, and that's something I'm going to take with me when I leave, and I'm going to be very, very grateful for." So that was kind of like a bittersweet, message from Eric Wallace talking about his experience as showrunner as well. But overall, this is pretty much it for the article breakdown. A lot of very, very interesting teases that have been revealed, and damn, I wish they were there, but unfortunately they're not. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you guys wish that were in The Flash season 9. After reading all of this, I'm interested to see all of your thoughts towards all of it as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.